He is a senior product leader with 12 plus years of experience building a scaling enterprise platform where people, processes, and technology interacts. Over the years, he has worked across product and program management, engineering, solution consulting, operations, and pre sales with a strong focus on designing systems that directly impact HR teams, managers, and employees at scale. Can we have a huge round of applause for Varun Ramakrishnan?
Thank you. Are you all able to hear me? Good morning. That was a wonderful session from Mrigank. I honestly thought few people were planted, but I think the honesty that they radiated means a lot. I think wonderful job, sir, and kudos to People Strong as well. Um, we saw from Mrigank's session that it's no more an adoption problem, it's no more an exploration problem. I think all of us are at the scaling stage, right? I'm talking about AI. We'll continue talking more about AI, but it's not going to be more tech stuff. I'm trying to bring a very different flavor to the whole session, talking about how can we conserve the human moments and how can we craft employee experience in this AI age. Wonderful to meet people at Bangalore again. I am Varun. I lead the product and design teams at Keka. I have been building for employees, HRs, managers, CEOs, CHROs for over a decade. And it's a wonderful community. I learn a lot each time I meet all of you. I take away a lot of things that we incorporate back into our products. So thanks again for all your contribution, all your feedback. These sessions and these events are wonderful. So when I was looking at the Super Genie, one question that came into my mind, right? What is that one question that you will ask after the hiring status? Pipeline, report, hiring status. Is there a $1 million question that you all want to ask? Huh? Exactly. Not when. Will the person join? Right? If and when will the person join us? Right? And it'll be great if any tool can give us an answer to that. It's a $1 million question. I don't think anyone has cracked it. Has anyone cracked it? Has anyone been able to predict these conversions with data, without data, with intuition? Anyone here? Show of hands. To some extent. Because based on the location that we are hiring where, okay. Okay. 7 out of 10? You are able to get it, or 5 out of 10, or 8 out of 10? 8 out of 10. Okay. You are able to, like, for sure say that the person is going to join. Wonderful. Others should please talk to her. Let's get to it, right? How many of you feel that you've been firefighting, not getting into a lot of strategic work, actual people work of late? Show of hands. Let's do some exercise. Okay. Everyone else feel that you're all doing some real people work, strategic work? Wonderful, right? What is easier, managing people's emotions or managing payroll? Managing payroll is easier. Okay. Anyone who says managing people's emotions is easier than payroll? I think we will know in 15 days, I guess. Today is right in the middle of the month. Everyone's like comfortable. I had an event once on a 31st or a 30th. I could see the nervousness. People were going out, coming in, there were calls and everything. So, but it's great to see that it is easy to manage payroll than people's emotions in this age. And with AI, it's going to become much better. How many of you will trust AI to run the payroll just on a click of button and then walk away? No? I heard a no. Okay. Anyone who's doing that today? Like end-to-end, full automation, full proof. I don't have to look into it at all. The money hits the bank. No? Okay. So you're all managing payroll, but you just feel that it's easier now. Great. What is that one mundane activity, task, work, project that you would love to be taken off your plate? I really need a few people to voice out, shout it out loud, or just raise your hands, by AI. Or leave out AI, what is that one activity you want taken off your plate as a HR leader? Which one? Which task? Okay. Okay. Okay, got it. Do you use multiple systems, sir, today, or Multiple systems, great. Okay, anyone else? Wonderful.
So for us, I think one of the challenges that we have, though most of our processes are already automated and we are there, there's this one gap that we would like to fill, that is 80% of our workforce is the shop floor employees.
Okay.
And most of them don't know how to read and write, and they may not even have a smartphone.
Mobile app, yeah.
Right? So there's still a dependency on HR when it comes to leaves and attendance, where HR has to still mark it manually and then thank you. And then by the end of the month they enter it.
Got it.
Now what happens there is, because of this, that last week, as you said, HRs are like, we are very busy, we can't do anything else. So we're looking at complete automation. Though we are at 95% completely automated, everything, this is one space that we are probably
Here
looking
you're
at. a
specifically
solution.
talking about punch-ins, punch-outs,
Attendance and
Attendance
leave.
and leave.
Sorry, attendance and leave.
and
Yes,
leave.
both.
Okay, okay. And currently someone's doing it on their behalf, is what you're saying.
Only for the blue collar
Only
or
for
the
blue
hunger
collar.
warriors.
And what
yeah.
is the percentage of blue collar in
We
your?
are about 80%.
80% is blue collar.
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. Anyone else who's looking to take off an activity completely off your plate?
So I'm saying the dashboard awareness is very limited to some specific leaders, and to make that dashboard, I have to pull out some 10 Excel, and I have to be sometime dependent if we are on the move. I'm a HRBP, so if we are traveling to some other regions, then I have to be dependent on a particular team member. And I think it's not only disengages me, it also disengages the team member, because you have to, everybody needs everything. And I think the awareness, while we have data, a lot of data, but unless it's, the awareness is there and it's, the reach is faster, it doesn't make life easier.
Got it. And when you say dashboard, can you maybe be a bit specific and say which particular ritual are you talking about?
Business dashboards related to HR, because everything right from probably designing a hiring tool or hiring the right person to the whole succession plan depends on the business criteria which has to be merged.
Got it.
So I think everything
Today,
is
do you do
also
it with
then
Excel?
science.
Do you do it with your AI tools?
So we have Power BI and
Power
then,
BIs.
yeah, so,
Got it.
but then although Power BI once upon a time was very, it was looking very attractive. Now slowly I think the agility is becoming,
Yep.
that's what I feel, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just, I won't use the word reassuring, but it shouldn't be reassuring ideally. Although we talk a lot about AI automation, we talk about prediction, we talk about can AI take our jobs away, I think these fundamental problems still exist. They have not gone away yet, right? With truly connected AI systems, and that's what I think Sir also spoke about in the previous session, the unified ecosystem has not come in, and AI gives true value, that delivers the true value only with that unified system, right? Be it connected systems that you spoke about, or be it the dashboards that has to bring in multiple facets of data that gives you insights, both to you as HR leaders as well as your business leaders, right? Be it the CEOs or others. CEOs here, I did hear there were a few CEOs. Just one or two? Okay. No CEOs in the hall now? Fine. Okay. Let's ask the flip question. What is the biggest concern that a CEO has out of all of you? Out of the CHROs and the HR leaders here? They don't understand. They simply don't understand. CEOs don't understand. Okay. What do they not understand, sir? They don't think HR understands business. Wonderful. Okay. Trust me, it took a long time for me to understand what is HRBP, right? I was building for HRs for a long time. I'm not from the HR fraternity. It took a long time and working for a lot of hours with HRs to get that sense and that empathy. Any other specific problem that you're still fighting with your CEO for? The last big argument that you had? Can you be a bit more loud? Attrition? Attrition and hiring. Okay. Is attrition still blamed on HRs? Okay, unanimous, yes. Wonderful. What do the managers do? They blame the HR. Okay, wonderful. We'll move on. This is great, right? How many of you have seen this lawsuit that came up for Workday? Yeah? So I think the plaintiff directly went ahead and blamed the algorithm, right? Not the hiring manager, not the recruiter. That's the age we are in, right? This would have been science fiction. This was few months and years back, but it is not so, right? AI is right there. People are exploring, people are adopting, and we are in the scalability age, right? It's very important for us to ask, is AI making your decisions yet? I can still see no, right? But soon they will be making your decisions. And that could be agents sitting there under the hood. That could be people who have built AI platforms. That could be products like us who you're adopting, right? But AI will be making decisions for you. What are you going to do, right? I'm just going to throw some questions that all of you can start thinking about from yesterday, from now, right? If you have already not started. Exploring alone is not enough, right? We'll get there, right? You have to seriously think about how do you react when AI makes these decisions for you, right? No longer human resources. You will no longer be managing just human emotions, people emotions. You will also be managing and governing, let me use the word governing, those systems that run AI for you, those systems that take the decisions for you. And why do I call it hybrid resources? We are managing a very, very complex ecosystem, and all of you are doing it currently, right? We spoke about blue-collar workers, we spoke about full-time, gig, contract, remote workers, distributed teams. Not just that, we have the agents. We have the super agents, we have the sub-agents, right? There'll be an agent of agents now, right? All of this will start coming in, and all of you should start getting up to speed to manage it. And this is not to create any kind of paranoia, but we better wake up to this, right? What has been HR traditionally, right? You set up your fair practices, you set up your policies, you set up your processes. How many employees read the policy docs? 0, right? That's where the agents can be super helpful. Again, we saw it in the previous session, right? They don't have to go through a 50-pager policy at all, right? They can ask a question and they don't need a HR for that, right? I hope we have all realized that they don't need a HR person sitting there to answer policy questions. Then what are we doing, right? It is no more about policies and processes or hiring a very empathetic manager and placing them in that team that has a lot of people issues. No, it's no more about that, right? The equation is changing. Employee experience is more about EQ plus AQ. What is AQ? Anyone? Of course. I had some fun answers last time. AI quotient, okay, very straightforward. Artificial quotient, okay. EQ is, of course, the emotional quotient, right? EQ is that side. AQ. Okay, and why is it quotient, right? I'm not calling for all of you here to become data scientists or AI experts or even ChatGPT experts or cloud experts. You don't have to be. Trust me, you don't have to be. There are people for that, right? We'll keep doing our stuff. But you have your own space here. That's where the AI quotient or the algorithmic quotient comes in. We are calling it algorithmic quotient. You can call it the AI quotient, right? And ensure that you're up to speed on that. This is the new HR mandate, right? When anyone comes at the midnight, one of your employees at 2 a.m. asks a question about a particular policy or wants to understand if they will get a letter for the next vacation that they are going to take and the visa that they are going to apply, right? They're going to get their answers, right? And any candidate that's going to apply in future is going to get rejected in 5 or 6 minutes by the algorithm, right? But both of these are experiences. Both of these are very important experiences where humans have to come into the loop. It doesn't stop there, right? A candidate getting rejected by an algorithm, you saw what happened to it, right? There was a lawsuit. There were questions around why did I get rejected, right? And a person who's an employee who's right there in your company needing a particular document or wanting to understand if the policy lets them take a vacation or lets them take a personal break or a sabbatical, that's where just the policy statement doesn't help. A human has to come in the loop, right? So AQ is very important. It's not about building AI, as I said. It is about challenging AI. And to challenge AI, all that you need to know is ensure that you not just let AI take all these decisions, but you govern the algorithms. Again, you don't have to understand the machine learning code. You don't have to understand the evals. All that you have to know is bring in fairness, right? Ensure that you own the accountability. You don't blame it on the AI. Just like how employees blame it on the HRs, let's not get into a stage of where HRs blame it on the AI, right? Let's govern the algorithms, let's protect the fairness, and let's ensure that there is always human in the loop, bringing in accountability at each and every step, right? What can humans do, right? Of course, AI can run a full blast engagement survey, predict attrition, talk about which department is disengaging and all of that, but only all of you here can understand the context. You will jump in and figure out why that person has disengaged. Has there been a personal situation? Has there been a medical emergency or not? And you will not want AI to take these decisions. I hope not. I hope AI doesn't have so much data that they can give you all those details. It shouldn't happen, right? AI should work only on the company data, nothing more, no personal stuff, right? And you should be able to, and when we talk about governing, you should be able to ask questions. Again, this was mentioned in the previous session as well. AI is also accountable, and you should be able to ask, how did you come up with this answer? What data did you use to come up with this answer, right? And we have to be very careful on what data we supply to AI. And again, someone put it really beautifully. I think it's not just garbage in, it's the quality of what we want and what we put inside. And that's very important for only humans to judge and humans to take it forward, right? This is very interesting, right? What will HR roles look like in future? We have the HR BPs, we have the payroll processors, we have the compliance analysts, we have the onboarding staff. What's going to happen in the future, right? We'll definitely have bias auditors. Those are not tech roles. Those will be HR tech roles. We will have people analytics leads. Someone mentioned about dashboards that you have to decipher. Someone mentioned about, hey, I'm not able to even put together multiple dashboards and insights together. Now, how will I take away insights and intelligence from that, right? There will definitely be people who will be evaluating AI systems sitting in the HR teams, right? And these might sound a bit fancy now, but they are coming soon, right? And you might hear a lot more new roles coming up in HR, right? Is this real? Very much, right? The recent HR salary benchmark report that we did at KEKA, it was very clear that the AI heavy roles and the AI savvy roles, not just the HRs that use the ChatGPTs and the Claudes, but the ones that really get deep and figure out and ensure that AI doesn't do your performance reviews. How many of you are using AI for performance review summaries? I hope not, right? Performance review, manager feedback, and employee feedback needs to be written by the people, right? You can feed them with a lot of insights that happen through the year, through the quarter, through the month, based on the frequency that you have. You can equip them with all the tools, but please ensure that the final decision or even a summary is not done by AI, right? That's where the humans come into the loop. But AI heavy roles are getting 2x plus more salaries. That's where the money is. And please take the QR code, download the report. It's free and it's real. And you will start seeing the market evolve through this, right? Where does employee experience live in this entire equation, right? It's a sweet spot. If you are AQ heavy and not EQ heavy, that's going to become a very, very cold factory-led company. That's not what we want. If you are EQ heavy, you might have a lot of empathy, you might understand people, but the business might suffer, right? So we'll have to ensure that EQ and AQ kind of intersect and you play in that sweet spot. It's easier said than done, but I think you'll have to start thinking about this from now, right? And ensure you start upskilling. Now, what do you actually do about this? We spoke about how the market might change, how HR roles might change. But all of this does not need any budgets, does not need any CHRO approvals, does not need any CEO approvals. It all starts from individuals. It all starts from you sitting here. Stop competing. Start upskilling right away, right? Again, upskilling doesn't mean you have to become a scientist. Start upskilling, get up to speed on your AI fluency. Ensure you are protecting the human moments. Ensure each and every human moment is protected as much as the AI systems that you're using, as much as the operations that you're automating, as much as you're connecting all your systems together, which is going to take some time, but ensure you're designing human in the loop. And each one of you here can do it. You don't need any external support or approvals or top-down alignment in your company for this. Once you start doing it, you will see the entire organization shifting towards this. And this is how I think HR should prepare for 2026 and 2027. Right. I'll stop here. We are KEKA. You can visit us at the booth. I'm not going a lot into what we have built on AI. Please reach out to me. I'll be happy to explain. And how we are, most importantly, bringing human in the loop. Thank you again for listening. I hope this was useful for all of you. Any questions, I'll be happy to take them. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Varun, for the wonderful presentation. Now, I would like to call upon stage Mr. Tanmay Parekh to felicitate Sir. Also, can we have a huge round of applause for Varun?